This is also known as, I like to use the easier word, which is breath of fire, but that's the breath that we'll work on, Kapalabhati breathing, after we warm up with some easier breath work. So we'll do breath work for everyone today. When we practice our Kapalabhati breathing, thank you very much for the recommendations and the requests, by the way. Don't get discouraged. When I was first practicing breath of fire, really couldn't do it very well. And I started practicing it in my car when I was driving my kids to and from school. I want to show you before I get back to my mat so I can be really close to your screen. Your belly is going to move. So first of all, I'll teach you the breath in a minute, but when we start to do it, we're only worrying about an exhalation, okay? So we're going to go, listen to my voice. I'll just do it, my breath. I'll do it with my mouth open, although we'll practice with our mouth closed. Okay, so we worry about the exhale on that breath. The inhale comes naturally, but I want your belly to move. And sometimes your back and your shoulders and your chest will move too. That's okay. We don't want to be grippy and not able to move like that. So exhale, exhale, exhale forcefully. Breath of fire, stoking inner fire. Come on back with me, yogis. Thank you for coming to class today. My name's Tiffany. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting or working together yet, get warm. If you have a little space heater or something in your spot. And when you're ready, we're gonna come to any position that feels best for you. I like to practice breath seated. I sit on my shins. You're welcome to sit right on your buns in what's called an easy seat, crossing legs, or if you're really flexible in your knees and your hips, you could do something like a modified half lotus. I prefer to sit with my toes tucked for as long as possible, toes pose. And when that gets uncomfy, if you're going to join me, you just simply slip your feet flat. You're also welcome to put a pillow in between your ankles and under your buns. If you're trying toes pose with me today, we make it a little bit more intense by walking knees forward, a little less by walking knees back. So let's find something that feels wonderful for you. For grounding, palms come down. If you're feeling a little low in energy and a little stagnant today, palms come up to help you really receive some good energy. When you're ready, we're beginning with a simple inhalation and an exhalation, any speed. And then we're working on a 4-second in-breath and a 6-second out-breath. I'll count it for you and we'll practice quite a few rounds together. Let's take a big breath in, any way, any length, sitting up as tall as you can, and then a full exhalation. I love a big open mouth sigh here. Letting everything settle down. Your spine stays erect, but not rigid. Let's breathe in through our noses and out through our noses for this next set. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soft and slow. 3, 2, 1. Long and easy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full breath in. 3, 2, 1. Long, slow exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round with me. 3, 2, 1. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue practicing that breath strategy, but try softening your face. Loosen the hinge of your jaw. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back in. Soften your eyes. Let them fall more deeply into their sockets. 2 more rounds like this. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you breathe, see if you can float in all different directions, not just up and down, north to south, front to back, and side to side. Well done, my friends. Blink eyes open. One more round of breath. Reach arms all the way up and overhead. This is where we begin breath of fire. Fingertips, first 4 fingers are gonna fall into your palm and your thumbs stick out like little antennas. Now, if your arms get tired as we practice, forward or down, it's okay. When we breathe, I'll try to show you again from the side, we're only worrying about the exhale. Inhale comes naturally. Let's take a big breath all the way in and out. Another huge breath in, hold at the top. I'm gonna do open mouth exhalations for a while so you can hear them. Only let half of that inhalation out. Start a forceful exhalation right here. Keep going. Open mouth is okay. Closed mouth is better. Watch my belly. In, stoking the internal fire. Keep going, yogis. Ten more rounds. Big inhalation all the way to the tip top. Suspend your breath. Pull your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Hold all that good energy in. You might feel a little tingly. This is very good. Exhale, everything releases softly. Really challenging breath, right? Take a moment to feel a little bit better. Sometimes we get a little dizzy and woozy when we practice that. Good job stoking your inner fire. If you can stay till the end of class, we'll re-practice a little breath strategy then too. Arms rise. Let's reach all the way forward and down. A big bow into extended child's pose. And as you do, try to crawl a bit more forward with each arm. Really settle in. Close your knees so we can massage over our ribs and our bellies. Unless you're pregnant or it just doesn't feel good. Knees can be wide. Belly can hang in between the knees. Take a big breath in, lifting your right arm. And then release right arm back to the floor. Left arm, same thing. Big lift. Eye gaze may follow if that feels good. Big release. Inhale, right arm rises. Exhale, release. Same thing, left side. Breathe in. As the left arm rises again, we're going to come right back to that same side. Extend your left leg out to the side, blade edge, and then reach back forward, softening left knee, stretching out through inner thigh and outer hip. If that feels good, yogis, stretch the left arm under the right, thread the needle, let your left side head or temple fall to the floor, and right arm reach around your low back to release your shoulders. Take a big breath in here. Unwind, reaching everything back forward, unthread your needle, and let's walk both hands over towards your left big toe. Stretch out here. We can stay right in this reach, or for a little funky variation, keep the left arm out, thread the right arm under the left, and grab onto the blade edge of your foot or somewhere on your outer thigh. And then we're gonna twist again, this time looking out under your left elbow. I like to bring my fingertips as far overhead as they'll reach for this one. One more big breath in. Full exhalation and then release, bringing hands back down under your shoulders. Let's come into a tabletop. Lifting body up and extending left leg straight behind us. Tap your toes on the earth and let's pulse a little bit just to stretch out our calves. Stretch out through the back body. Pull your collarbones really far away from your hips. Shine your heart forward. Lift your left toes and then reach your right fingers, thumbs up, straight overhead, elbows by your ears if you can. Let's sweep out to diagonal pointer, a big breath in here. Come back, front to back. 90 degrees in both the elbow and the knee, lifting outer shoulder and outer hip to sky. Extend back into diagonal pointer. And then reach forward and back again, a long pointer. Yogis, stay here or I have a little challenge for you. Tap down to tabletop, come up to plank. If you're up for the challenge, we're doing pointer plank. So let's tap the left top of foot back, get light on the right fingertips, and then we're slowly going to extend. Right arm back overhead, thumb up if you can. Left toes behind you. Take another big breath in and out no matter where you are. Release everything down as slowly as possible. Sometimes we tumble if we were in pointer plank. And find extended child's pose. This time, turn your palms up, your forearms up to relax your shoulders, especially if you tried your challenging plank. Full breath in and out to recover. Let's ease our bodies forward. Right arm is rising and the right leg is extending. Remember that gate pose. Reaching all the way up to the sky, back forward with the right arm, stretch really far, soften your right knee, press your blade edge down, and then optionally, thread your needle, right arm under the left. Great time to get a little prop, a pillow or a block for the right side of your face. Resting down comfortably wherever you can, and optionally reaching the left arm around your low back. I like to do that because it gives us the space to take really big breaths in. Unwind when you're ready. Keep your leg right where it is, but let's walk our hands over to the right side. We're gonna aim for our big toe. Reach over there. This is nice. Just stay right here. Stretch out your side bodies, or for that funky variation, left arm threads behind the right. We're gonna try to grab onto the outer right leg somewhere, all the way down to the blade edge of your foot at the lowest. Draw your left ear back towards the floor, and then stretch your right arm all the way overhead if it's available to you. Somewhere that feels like a big twist for your left shoulder blade. And breathe once you've found it. At the bottom of your next exhalation, let's unwind ourselves. Roll up to tabletop on the left shin and tuck your right toes straight behind you. Start that little pulse so you can get very stretched out through those right calves. Whew, that was good work, yogis. Lots of twists already. Push forward and back for another breath. Elevating right toes when you feel ready. Left arm, thumbs up. We always go thumbs up for yoga. And elbow right by the ear. Find a very long, strong pointer. Navel in. Front ribs pulling towards our spine. Really strong core. Diagonal pointer. Use outer shoulder, outer hip. Front to back again. Take a big, beautiful breath in. And when you're exhaling, bring your outer right leg to the sky. Knee bends. Outer left shoulder to the sky, 90 degrees, knees and elbows. One big breath in. Extend back to pointer. Come forward and hold this pointer if you'd like, or join me, pointer plank. Let's land everything to table. Tuck toes and rise, and then bit by bit, tap the top of your foot down, get light on your left fingertips, stay here, or optionally extend. Left arm, thumbs up, yogis. I know that's hard. Can you brighten up your right toes? Open them away from one another. One more big breath in. Land, and once you're there, my friends, push back downward facing dog. Take a big breath and a whole lot of wiggle side to side. Now you're welcome to move any organic way that feels best for you, but I have a couple little options to roll through if you'd like. Let's roll forward and back to plank, but make it as squiggly as possible. Bend your knees, roll forward like a wave, bend and corkscrew back. One more round like that, warming up your joints, your shoulders, your hips, and your wrists and ankles. Let's lift both heels, bend both knees, and swivel your knees to the right as your heels fall to the left. Turning your chest a little bit over towards the left side to feel a big twist in the left side body. Back to center. Everything the same. Lift heels, bend knees. Let's turn knees this time to the left. Hips to the right. And then turn your chest to the left. Take a gigantic breath in here. Roll back to the center, straightening legs as long as it feels good for you. And we have one more round, yogis. Inhale forward. Drop the right hip to the floor for a little side plank bounce. Press back. Same thing, left side. Roll forward. Drop left hip to the floor, a little bounce, bounce. Inhale, come back. Stretching out the outer hip. One more time. Inhale. Right hip bounce, bounce, push back. Inhale, exhale as the left hip drops. Press on back, lift your toes, and our challenge for today in stepping forward is to lift the toes up to the shins and land your heel first as you step forward. So it goes heel, ball of foot, lift opposite leg. Heel, ball of foot, pull your toes in towards your hips. Lift, heel, ball, lift, heel, ball. As many little steps as you can make. Using your hip flexors, great job. Take a big fold, soften the backs of your hands down next to your pinky toes, wrists in line with tips of toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to get there. Bend your elbows and let your head hang. Shake it around, make it feel good. Always end with a positive yes shake to set a good breath-filled intention for class today. Roll up very slowly once your head is done shaking, with any swings or sways that you like. All righty, once you're at the top with your head, lift your arms up. Take a hold of your right knee. If you can get it in, give it a big squeeze. Left arm opens, and then we're just gonna open and close. Lift and lower and circle through our right knee. If you're unable to hold it, you can do the same thing with a little support from the ground. Nice too. Just wanna get some mobility in your hip. Anything that feels joyful and free. One more breath. All righty, lift both arms up. Right leg steps all the way back for a soft landing lunge. Arms flutter to the sky. Literally flutter your fingertips. Let freedom come. Drop your right knee to hover and then re-rise. It's okay if you tap it too. Big breath in, big breath out. Again, feeling that right hip flexor. If you'd rather stay in low lunge, you can lift a little and then land back down. 2 more, breath in. Breath out, last one. Beautiful. Frame out your left foot and lift your right leg. We're gonna try to lift it as high as it feels good to stretch out our hip. A little standing split. Let your head fall. Point your toes skywards, even if you'd like to bend your knee and poke them up. 1 more breath. Let's rise again, yogis, with the same leg and a knee lift. Bend your left knee, power up to standing. 1 more knee lift. And release. Well done. Shake it off. Same thing left side. Give your knee a big hug. Extend your right arm anywhere that feels good for balance. And then use your left hand to help yourself loosen up in the hips. Great time to play with toes and ankles too. So I like to go out and in, up and down, circling here and there. Little wobbly, right? Well done. Lift up with everything. Step back very slowly and open into a huge V overhead. Tap your left knee or hover it and re-rise. But connect with your breath here. I like to exhale as I lower. Inhale as I rise. Remembering that we always have kneeling options and you can just do the best you can to lift a little and then lower back into your comfort zone. 2 more. Next time you land, fingertips frame out the right foot. We get really heavy in the right foot and lift the back leg skywards. We can always keep our toes on the ground too if that feels good, but I'd really like you to get upside down here. Get a little whoosh of newly oxygenated blood into your brain. A great little option is a knee bend, toes poking to sky, standing split. 1 more breath wherever you may be, yogis. When you're ready, look forward, bend your right knee, give your left knee a big hug, right arm rises, and then release everything down. Good work. Step a little wider, reach arms up, come down into a little squat, hands on thighs, just a little squat. Press your left fingers facing down into your left thigh. Drop that shoulder and look over right arm. Same thing other way, right fingers turn in. Press the inner thigh, open a bit more, and peek over left shoulder as you drop the right arm. Let's move that with breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Little tiny pushes. You don't need a lot on the inner thigh to feel that stretch, right? Last one each way. Coming with arms overhead. So if our squat needs to rise, that's okay. It's more intense with arms overhead. Take it as you can. You're welcome to forward fold, or we're sinking down through yogi squat as low as we like to go. And then we find forward fold, toes turn in. Right leg, long lunge back. Now we're wide, so we're finding a lizard lunge here. If you brought your feet in together, wiggle your left toe out a little wider. And then let's try those knee taps again. We can be fingers on floor, forearms on floor, or if that feels pretty gnarly, come up high and land on your left thigh. Tap right knee, press back out. Tap right knee, press. 3 more like this. Breathe in. Notice the sensations in your right hip flexor. Feel it lengthening? Yes, good job. 2 more. Hang on to this lizard for just a moment, but really bring your chest forward. Collarbones floating left to right, open and smiling. Push back, downward facing dog. If you feel kind of stuck, bring your knees together first in table. Find a child's, tuck your toes, and then lift up to dog. Right leg rises again, big breath in. Option, my friends, keep it lifted as we vinyasa. If you feel more comfortably, toes can come back down. Let's shift to 3-legged plank if you're elevated. Full plank if you're not. 3-legged chaturanga all the way to the floor, where both of our feet will come flat here. Push toes away from top of head and hover your hands, baby cobra. Take fingertips down and give yourself a little extra boost, and then re-hover. Can you stay lifted? Eyes may want to look forward, or for length and back of neck, fold up a mirror under your nose. Really look down and breathe here. 1 more breath. Exhale, release hands to earth. Help yourself back to child's. Tuck your toes. Rise in your hips. Let's look forward and step immediately outside. Right foot, right pinky finger. If you get stuck, help it, help it, help it. Finding our lizard on this side. Now, if you get there and you're a little narrow, that's okay. Widen your feet up so you feel really spacious in your torso. Bring chest forward. You can be kneeling already, and if you're not, you're going to tap with me. Left knee down. Rise and push out to the left heel. Ooh, a little lowering. Ooh, exhale, push. Let's try 4 more. If your hands get tired, you can use fists for rest. Those are really strong. 2 more. We have 1 big, beautiful breath. Holding in this lizard, try to pull your pelvic floor up and in, and bring your collarbones more towards me. Great job, my friends. Push on back again, downward facing dog. I know it's tough. Left leg rises, breathe in. Stay with an elevated leg for your vinyasa flow, or put it back down and flow normally with me. We find plank, 3-legged or not, chaturanga. Toes fall flat, they press back behind us. We come back to that baby cobra we were just in, or potentially straightening our arms. Wherever you are, find softness in your neck so we can look over each shoulder. If your arms have straightened to up dog, knees and thighs need to be elevated as well. 1 more big breath. Exhale, roll back, child's, into dog. Tuck your toes, scoop your hips upward. Let's try that little pull with our toes up towards our hips again. We're gonna lift 1 leg, land the heel first, then the ball of foot. Lift, heel, ball, lift, heel, ball. As many footsteps forward as you can make. Pull your thigh bones up into your hips, like you're plugging your femur into your hip socket. Once you've arrived, hang heavy. Make it a luxurious little spinning roll. Spin your nose to your heels. Ah, feels good. And then once you get your spin on, start to roll this spin to the sky. Try to hang super heavy in your head and your arms. Let everything float around. And if you encounter a part of your spine or back that feels really tense, stay there. Ah, feels good, right? All right, let's go through 1 more round of jazzy sun salutations. Arms rise. Left leg is going to begin this time. Lift on up. Quad stretch. Hold on to the top of your foot and then pull heel towards butt behind you. Right arm can stay up, or if it feels good, use both hands. I like that option because then you can squeeze your shoulder blades back and really shine your heart forward. Okay, here comes the fun part, yogis. When you get to quad stretch, Try to hang on to your foot. It's okay if you can't reach it, you just keep going. And hinge forward, so left thigh and chest are parallel to the ground. Squeeze your inner thighs together for squared hips. Once you have it let go, extend your left toes behind you. Wiggle your fingers and your left toes. Fingertips down on the ground. Finding a really supported warrior three. Now pull your collarbones away from your hips, long through the side bodies. If you're feeling great there, reach fingertips back behind you and then slowly land into lunge. Left leg steps back, high lunge, breathe in. Let's find some spreading wings sequence. I'm gonna move forward a little bit. You stay where you are, you're in your lunge. Arms come down to shoulder height. Bringing the thumbs down and backs of hands together overhead as we lean into this lunge. Lean back, thumbs up, backs of hands together again. Reach forward, thumbs down, backs of hands together, getting some beautiful movements through our shoulders. Thinking about these wings spreading so beautifully open. Find an exhale as you reach forward and an inhale as you open your chest. One more big round, yogis. Exhale. Arms rise. Can you touch your palms overhead? Eye gaze follows fingertips. We lift as long as we possibly can. Frame out the right foot and press back to downward facing dog. Now just take a minute here to shimmy, shake, and breathe. Feel really refreshed. You can always stay, but we're gonna go through a vinyasa if you have some energy. Think about it as clearing the slate, starting fresh. Breathe in, vinyasa. Breathe out, chaturanga. Breathe in any back bend that feels good. Then you can always use that little look over your shoulders, roll through your neck. Press back to dog. All right, friends, let's meet together now, please. Left leg rises, breath comes in. We're gonna step between the thumbs for this one. Find your gaze. Look where you're landing and whoosh, right there. Did you make it? Well done. Baby standing split, lift. Toes come down, we're gonna roll, make it a slinky one. Swing around, spend some time. So nice. Inhale, rise. When you're ready, no rush, meet me when you can. Okay, you've all gotten here? Well done. Right knee to chest, grab the top of your foot, and if it's hard for you to find a quad stretch that way, whatever works. Some people like to lean off to the side, get a hold of it, might kind of come down, grab it, and then rise, whatever works. Big quad stretch. Both hands if it feels opening in your chest for you. Remember that when we progress through options, it should only be to enhance what you're feeling. So if it feels better as you add on, do it. One more breath. Let's start our hinge. Body and right thigh parallel to the floor. Hips are gonna wanna open, so keep squeezing inner thighs together. One more big breath. Eye gaze looking right down to that mirror under your nose. Extend toes behind you. Fingertips come under your shoulders to help you get really settled here. And then if you can, reach fingertips back behind you. We're gonna land right toes into a lunge. Bend left knee, poke back, back, back. Arms rise high. All righty, we're gonna come down and up. Instead of spreading wings this time, fingertips are reaching to the floor and then back up. So let's spread our wings in a new way. Or it's like one of those cars that has those doors that opens up and down. That's kind of what I remind of. We have 4 more big breaths. Open. Eye gaze may want to follow for a little balance challenge. Last one, big breath in. Frame out that front foot, press back to downward facing dog and take a whole lot of shimmies and wiggles. Maybe you're walking your dog, maybe you're stepping wide and swaying. Whatever rejuvenates your body while you're here. Optional vinyasa with me, are we ready? Let's breathe together, my friends. Inhale, float forward. Exhale, melt down. Swipe your toes back, press up to any back bend that feels really good for you. Exhale, ease back into your downward facing dog. Left leg rises when you're ready. Steps in between your thumbs. And then we take that tiny little standing split. Lift, lower, take a big break and forward fold. And in your time, step the leg that's closest to me back into lunge and turn to wide leg forward fold so that when you fold, the top of your head is facing me. We'll be able to see each other when we rise. Widen your feet as much as it feels good, and then just let your upper body hang. But if your head is on the floor, close your toes a little bit more together. Let's take one more big breath in here. If you can reach your big toes, you're gonna take your peace fingers, the index and the middle finger on each hand, and loop up the bottom of your big toe. Press your thumb to the outside of each toe and start to halfway lift. Now, I really want you to pull up on your toes as strong as you can as you push your big toes down. Keep that giant pull, shoulder blades together as you begin to lower your head back down towards the floor, but feel a stronger wide leg fold happening. 2 more big breaths in here. Keep pulling on your toes, keep pressing your toes down, squeeze your blades, drop shoulders from earlobes, and release. Well done, yogis. Wiggle toes out wider. They face the corners of your mat. And you're gonna start a little side lunge, side to side. Remember how we check to make sure our knees are behind our toes, baby toes? Make sure that's happening. You're welcome to come up higher. Just a little bit of a stretch for the inner and outer thighs. You're safely wide. Okay, let's land to the right. Turn your left heel out. Rest your right forearm on the thigh and side bend all the way up and over. Feels good, yes? We have to pivot now. Come back to center. Left toes pivot out. Right heel pivots back. Left forearm, right arm. Really reach. Okay, pivot both toes the opposite way. Reach. And switch. One more time. Staying with this, or when you get back to the right side, optional Skandasana, lessening our intensity by staying high, super intensifying by coming to Skandasana. So you make a wise decision for you. Your right heel does not have to be down. Right toes can be up or down. You make all the decisions here. If you're feeling a little unsafe, one hand in front, one hand in back, or you can sit on a block or a cushion of some sort. If you've arrived in Skandasana, exalt your arms in any way. There's no rules here, so I can come this way or that way. I can clasp hands behind me or reach them up and overhead. One more breath. Nicely done, yogis. Let's meet our friends up in our higher option. Switch sides. Let's stay here for a second, make a good decision for ourselves. We can turn our left toes forward a little, spin right toes up, and find a seat in Skandasana. One more arm option that you may enjoy, reaching forward and bowing your head. And whatever you've decided, we have 2 big breaths in. One more full inhale and exhale. Skandasaners, we're gonna rise and meet our friends in our less intense version. Still pretty intense though, right? Goddess or sumo squat, come to the center, goalpost arms, goalpost-esque legs, and then rise, 5-pointed star. Ooh, it feels good. Come on back down, breathe in. Power, power, power. Exhale, release. One more round like that, breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here. Left toes turn in, right toes turn out. Warrior 2. Bend your knee, land arms softly. Gonna get a little quad stretch on. How can we do that? One of my favorite poses. Floating half moon, reach to the right. Lift your left heel, and then we're gonna get buoyant. So we wanna get powerful in the right foot. Lift the left. Land on something if you have a prop nearby, or float. When you get the wiggles, yogis, look to the floor. We're going for length, right armpit to right hip, and a stack, left shoulder and hip over the right side body. Once you found it, if you find it, grab onto the top of your left foot, heel to butt, going for that quad stretch. Now, the best thing about being home is all these great props we have. So look, I'm gonna use my wall, right? Or if I had a couch nearby, I could use that. And it might help me feel more confident and get into a deeper variation of something that feels extra good today. One more breath wherever you are. Land as softly as you can back into warrior two. I encourage you to look down to transition. That's not easy, is it? Let the arms fall. Turn toes forward, squat. Back to sumo or goddess. One breath in, 5-pointed star. Breath out, left toes out, right toes in. Bend left knee, warrior two. Land your arms. We're only here for a breath. Now you know where we're going. All right, let's do this. Lift your right heel. Look to your left big toe. Land hands anywhere that feels good for you to boost that right leg up. And once you get there, we just want to find as much length as possible on the underside. Left armpit pulls away from the hip. Try to stack shoulders and hips on right side over the left. Now, if you move your eyes off the floor, you're a very daring yogi. Go for it if you can. Right heel to your cheek, grab on. Quad stretching, floating if you have fingertips off of a support, or full half moon if they're down on the floor or on a support. What feels good to you? Tough stuff. One more breath, my friends. All right, hang in. We're gonna be extra balanced here. Extend back out the way you came. Super softly land right toes. Windmill back to warrior two. And one more sumo or goddess. 5-pointed star. Heels rise in this 5-pointed star. Make sure you spread the ball of your foot away from the blade edge and all toes are liberated so there's no claws. Lift your heels. Okay, you stay here or you come with me. One more squat. Ready? This is the end of our strength. Heels are lifted, right? Shift to the right. Yes, you can. Well done. Shift to the left. Way to be determined. We have one more each side and that is it. Then we sit, sit, sit. Breathe in. Breathe out. Center. Heels fall. Arms fall. Toe heel in enough that you find a comfy yogi squat, whether it be up high, pressing off, or all the way down low, with the intention of coming to the earth. So we don't have to stay. One breath. When you're ready. If you're feeling like not really happy about sitting down without your hands, one hand in front, one hand in back, or come with me and just sit. Bring your feet together, crisscross them at the shins. If this feels good, but you have a little bit of flexibility in your hips and knees and you like the half lotus, please try this, whatever feels good. All right, now that we're here, lean back, open your chest, press your chest, your knees, and your pelvis forward towards me. Let your heart open, your throat open, your head can hang back. One more big breath in. And then let's take it forward. A big reward after all that hard work. Walk your fingertips forward. You can rest right on the top leg, or you can rest your chest on your top leg. Drop your head. I love a little sway side to side. It'll help you loosen up your low back. Relax your jaw here. Give yourself some freedom in your facial muscles. Just let go. Rise when you're ready, yogis. Lean right hand off to the side. Stretch. Really press down through left sit bone. Stretch left arm up and over. Wave it around to the front and then lift overhead and come behind you. Try to prop yourself up on both fingertips, twisting your body over to the left. Coming back to the center, same thing other side. Left arm falls, right arm rises. Give a little wave around like you're casting a magical spell. Lift your arm up. Let it fall behind you. Turn your heart towards the right side if you can. Big breath in. Big breath out as you re-swivel forward. Lean back far enough that your legs can untangle themselves. But first, make sure you remember which one was on top or in front. Doesn't matter, just remember so we can switch in a second. Okay, shake. Feels good. If you need a little massage for your knees, please do. Flex through the feet, scrunch through the toes, shake everything off. All right, let's restart. Other leg, shins cross, or we cross on top. If you're almost in the modified half lotus, but you're kind of stuck, lift from underneath. Really gently help yourself up instead of forcing and pulling. Lean back, scoot your tail and your sits bones free of any flesh, or you can physically gently move it. And then press your body open to me. Fingertips back, everything else forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and let your head drop back onto that little pillow you've created. Chin tucks back in if you dropped. Reach forward, but think like you can't get comfy, kind of a thing. Reach some more, stretch some more. Open a bit wider in your ribs, your hips, and your low back. Settle when you're ready, and then try that gentle little rock side to side. Using hands for support under shoulders, let's roll to rise. Lifting both arms up and overhead. Left arm falls first this time. Really stretch now. Press your right sits bone down. Try that little wave. Up and overhead, behind you, and your chest swivels happily to the right, like you're just smiling, collarbones to sky. Both arms rise. Breathe in. Right arm falls, breathe out, get a little bit of fluidity, a little motion in your shoulder. Next time you're ready to inhale skywards, exhale, fall behind, and then a tiny twist to the left. Settle in here for a moment. Back to the center we go. Lean back, see if your legs can untangle themselves. And once they're done shaking or being massaged in your joints, take them a little wide, just a little bit. We're gonna widen up slowly here. Point your toes on this one and think of a wave. So I'll show you from the side. We want our bodies to rise, lower, flat, but then wave back up. Okay, we're gonna try that type of a breath. Pointing your toes. Inhale straight to the sky, lift everything you can, reach as far forward as you can, and then begin to tuck chin round from the lower back, mid back, upper back to roll everything to the sky. 2 more wave-like breaths, flat body, roll through the spine, tuck in tight, lift and lengthen. Love that. Press out of your heels, press out of your sits bones, sit a little taller. Exhale, roll up. And the hard work is done. So when you're ready, find this semi-wide leg, forward fold. I like to take my hands, if you can reach your feet, and really try to get heavy there. Point your toes down. We do a lot of flexing, so it's nice to help your toes stretch out long here. Soften your shoulders if you can, tuck your chin. Adding on another wide leg fold in a moment, but for now, reflex your feet as you rise. Close feet together and pull left knee into chest. Taking a seated tree. Your foot can connect to the inner thigh or not. This is completely up to you. And when you get happy, we just adjust so no flesh is captured under our sits bones. Let's swivel over the right thigh, lift and lengthen, and then try to land outside for a little diagonal stretch, working deeply into the left low back. Tuck your chin, that's only going to help you get longer. And if it feels really great, left hand crosses on top of the right. Rise when you can, fingertips under shoulders to help you. Revisit this or come with me. We're gonna bring left knee straight. Now watch, knee's gonna come forward as foot comes back. And then you wanna lean off to pull your calf up and out a little bit so you can sit deeply in this knee bend. My toes poke to the side in this one, but yours may want to tuck straight under. Now that we have it, let's go right over the right leg. If this doesn't suit you, just come right back to tree, seated tree, and then reach forward. Bring your belly down over your thigh this time. This might be a great place for you to stay. Or if you're interested in side bending, right arm stays, using it as a lever to boost us up to the sky, and then on up and over for a little side bend. Wherever you are, one more big breath in. One long, slow, full exhalation at the bottom of that. You begin to unwind everything. So if you're in the optional, then really help yourself. Lean off to the right side, help your knee. Everyone's knees are back to the sky. Legs are straight, and then we're going a little wider. So a second ago, we were like 3 feet, right? We're gonna come out. I like to actually help my legs out. And this time we're taking the meat back. So we lift up our thighs and tilt it back. Thigh bones turn in a little bit, right? Great. Then tilt your tailbone up too. So I like to grab my cheeks and just kind of pull them up and back. So your pelvic bowl tilted forward. Now you can what? Now you can fold, right? Because otherwise we'd be a little stuck. Flex your feet on this one. So many options, but rise first, get long. Folding is wonderful. If you'd like to do the peace fingers that we did in our standing wide leg forward fold, cool. And then we exhale. And some people like to just use their hands on the inner leg somewhere just to help them open a tad bit more. So find something that feels great, and let's take 3 breaths in here. Begin softening through your facial features on every exhalation. Press down through your heels at the bottom of that exhalation. Let them help you rise back to the sky. Hands behind you to see if your legs can close themselves, and then find the right knee in for seated trig. You're welcome to help yourself. I just like to encourage legs and lower half to do it themselves. As wide as it feels good for you, clear any flesh that got stuck. Lift and lengthen. Cascade over the left leg, and then possibly off to the left side for a little extra twist, feeling the right low back. It feels good, but you're like, I got more to give. Right fingers land on top of left, and then bow down. As soon as you arrive somewhere, see how much you can let go. Toes can definitely wiggle. Fingers can wiggle, face can free, jaw can unhinge, brows can unfurrow, and foreheads can soften. Walk back over your left leg and rise. Now you're welcome to revisit that, or we're gonna take right knee to sky, right knee forward as right foot is out, or remember, some people like it, listen to your knee, whatever doesn't hurt and whatever feels good, maybe tucked. But I do encourage you to try to get that calf meat. Lift off of your cheek, right cheek, and then you have space, right? Grab your calf and literally pull that meat right out so you can sit in a little bit more of a deep bend. Good for your knees. Really good for some people's knees, not for others. Okay, when you're here, always listening to your body, exhale, fold directly over the left thigh this time. Big breath in, and then use a heavy sigh of exhalation. Try dropping your chin towards your chest. Really let your head hang. And if you've landed on your forearms, please turn your forearms and palms to the sky. Allow your shoulders and your collarbones to widen and relax. Final breath in and out here. We're using the bottom of that exhalation to prop ourselves up, hands under shoulders, and supporting ourselves to a casual rise, graceful and gentle. Lean back if you can. Your leg might feel a little stuck, especially if you're in half hero. You're welcome to help it out. And then just come forward and stretch out through your knees. Shake, and your foot may have gone to sleep if you were in that. Give it some relief. All right, my friends, here comes the fun. We're gonna go wide like we just were, but this time, we did this a couple weeks ago, but if you weren't here, it might be a new surprise for you. Watch my butt. We're gonna, one hand in front, one hand in back, lift, scoot forward. You see that? Not once, Not twice, but 3 times. And this is gonna help you get a huge straddle on. Does not have to be wide to start. Even if you're close, scooting your butt forward widens your legs and it's gonna get you really big into it. So let's do it together because I know it's kind of scary. Get your wide leg fold on. Whatever fold feels good for you, okay? Or excuse me, whatever wide leg feels good for you. One hand in front, one hand in back. Lift, scooch forward, one little bit. Ready? Do it again. Lift, scooch. Uh-oh. Feeling it already, aren't we? Lift, scooch. Oh man, here we go, guys. Soften your face. Relax some more. We're gonna stay seated tall here. Hey, if you've got another scooch in, you go for it. I don't know if I do. Do you? Okay, now really try to breathe down into your inner thighs here. If you can't flex your feet, don't worry, but you know that flexing is gonna make it more intense, so try. Now, in a perfect world, we'd have more time together, and I would love to keep you here longer, so if you can linger, do stay. But you might be able to get a couple more scoots out of it. So maybe your body's opening up and letting you in. We have 2 more breaths. You think you got another one? I don't know. I have to think a lot about that. Okay. Did you get one? One more final breath in here. Awesome job, guys. You are one of the gang if you felt a little tense there. So if you're like, oh, a little rigid when you do this, it's a big stretch. Well done. You might be kind of stuck. I know I am. So we're going to slowly have hands under the outer knees and guide the legs forward just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then when it feels okay, lean back and cross your legs gently. Let both knees fall to the right. We're going to stretch out these outer hips that we just worked so much in that. Right hand down, spiral lift. You know this one. Right hand down. You can hold your left hip or just sweep your right arm right to the sky. Ah, so much better after a big wide-legged stretch. One more breath in here. Release. Switch sides. Knees to the left. Left hand behind. May want to give a little hug on your right hip just in case it pops. Sometimes you get a big pop there. Did you get one? I always do. Reach up, stretch open, take a big, beautiful breath in. And as you exhale, a nice, easy seat. Now, if you have to leave, it's 1:55. We're gonna practice some more of Kapalabhati breathing in our tabletop. So I wanna tell you that if you're holding on and you're not feeling like you could flick the tailbone up and down as you do this, you're not gonna get a lot out of it. So remember, we wanna go inhale comes naturally. But when we do it in tabletop, which we'll do in a second, it looks like this. Mouth would be closed though. I just want you to hear the breath, okay? So notice how my shoulders are moving, my buns are moving, okay? We're gonna come into it together. Get in a comfy tabletop and let's roll through some cat-cows. Cat to begin, exhale fully. And while you're here, take time. Maybe you want to peek out under an armpit, lift a set of fingers, peek out another armpit, come into cow. We can roll through our necks, ears to shoulders. Next round, we may want to tuck and untuck our toes to enhance each one. So I like to tuck my toes on a cat, roll up to fingertips, and then untuck and kind of pull heels of hands towards knees and cow. Next round, we're experimenting with pushing ribs out to the side and making it a circular cat, down to circular cow. And if you did that, switch directions. And let's take 2 more rounds with whatever resonated with you the best, whatever felt the most opening. One more full round of breath here. All right, so hoping that at the end of our practice, this breath of fire is really gonna get you energized for the rest of today. You can have tabletop with toes tucked or untucked. Let's pull our shoulders back from our ears and widen our collarbones forward. Now we're gonna take a big breath in and out normally, anything that feels great to clear. Full, big inhalation and hold it at the top. Exhale only halfway. Now forcefully exhale through your nose as you move through Kapalabhati breathing. I'm going to do it with my mouth open for a while so you can hear it and try to connect with my breaths. Keep going, yogis. 10 more rounds here. Big, huge inhalation. Hold at the tippy top. Press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Pull your pelvic floor up and in. So all that good energy you just brought in stays. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Release everything. Tops of feet fall back. We sit on our buns. Just pause for a moment. Normal if you feel a little ooh after that. That's a good thing. Take one more big breath in. That's some work. Just breathing can be hard work when you really focus on it. Good job. Come back into table, but this time with the intention of rising to forward fold. We're going to twist our way on up to the sky. From your gentle forward fold, very bent knees, keep left fingertips down if you can, like you're going to squish a tennis ball. Really suction those together. Straighten your right leg and lift your right arm. Now remember, long in your left side body. We're building up that very confident spine again. Shoulder circles, just 2 circles. Switch directions if it's available to you. Right fingertips fall in front of right toes. Right knee bends huge as left leg straightens and left arm finds the sky. 2 big shoulder circles. Whatever way speaks to you, we start that direction. Switch if you can. Bend both knees, fingertips down, chin tucks the chest, back of neck is long. Give yourself a little swing around the corners, rolling super slowly to a beautifully long, energized, confident spine. Let's take a big breath up and overhead. Bring hands down to heart center and honor your practice for a moment. Eye gaze looks down towards the fingers as a little bow, a sign of gratitude. Let's, my friends, continue balancing through our evening and through our weekend, balancing our focus with some laughter and relaxation, our work with some personal time and play, strength with flexibility, as we did today, our holding on with enough letting go that we feel loose, and any forcing that happens naturally in our lives with a whole lot of flowing through our breath and graceful, easy body movements. My Light Yogis is so honored to share a practice with you. Thank you for sharing your very inspirational light with us. I am humbled and grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste until we meet again next week. Take good care, Yogis.